Do you drink milk every day or just once in a while? In today's video, we're going to talk about something I hear about almost every day, the concerns surrounding milk. Who here remembers the time when milk was synonymous with growing up strong and healthy, with that famous Got Milk mustache campaign? Well, times have changed. Today, many people come to me fearful, asking if milk has turned into poison. Does it inflame my body? Are there antibiotics in the glass I give my grandkids? I understand this anxiety. That's why today we are going to look at milk through the lens of health, separating myth from what really matters for your body, so you can make your choices with peace of mind and safety. A very common question is about the safety of the milk itself. Many people look at that plastic gallon jug in the fridge and then the carton on the shelf and ask me, is that boxed milk any good? Isn't it full of chemicals to make it last so long? Let's clear this up from a nutritional standpoint. The milk in the gallon jug, which stays refrigerated, goes through a quick heating process to clear out the most dangerous bacteria. It is fresh milk, great for daily use, but it spoils quickly. The boxed milk, UHT or shelf-stable, isn't fake. It simply went through a much more intense heat sterilization process. For your health, what matters is both are safe. Boxed milk isn't full of toxic preservatives. It was just cleaned of any bacteria and vacuum sealed. If you're a senior living alone and can't drink a whole gallon before it goes bad, or if you like having a backup in the pantry, you can use the carton without fear. It maintains the proteins and calcium your bones need. There's no need to be prejudiced against it. From a medical and sanitary point of view, it is an excellent and hygienic option. And in your home, do you prefer the convenience of the gallon in the fridge, or do you like keeping a few cartons in the pantry for emergencies? Now, let's touch on a point that keeps many people up at night, the fear of ingesting drugs and hormones without knowing it. It is understandable to have this fear. After all, we want to cleanse our bodies, not intoxicate them. Regarding growth hormones, RBST, in cows, although the regulatory agency says it does not cause harm, the good news is that the market listened to our concerns. Today, when you go to the grocery store, check the labels. The vast majority already say no RBST. This means you can easily avoid this additive without needing to spend double on organic products. And what about antibiotics? Here, I need to put your heart at ease. I know that the overuse of antibiotics is a serious problem, but in milk, the control is extremely rigorous. If a cow gets sick and needs medicine, her milk is discarded. It does not enter the production line. There are constant tests before the milk is bottled. If there is any residue of medication, everything is thrown away. The law is severe, because we know antibiotic residues can cause allergies and bacterial resistance in humans. So you can drink your glass of milk in peace. The sanitary surveillance system works hard to ensure that inside that bottle there is only milk, not the cow's pharmacy. Do you have the habit of reading labels, looking for warnings like no antibiotics, or do you trust the brand you've always bought? For years, the standard medical recommendation was cut the fat, use everything skim. The intention was good, focused on reducing calories and cholesterol. But in clinical practice, we see today that this isn't always the best path. When you take all the fat out of milk, what's left is basically sugar, lactose, and protein. The problem is satiety. Fat plays a fundamental role in telling your brain, I'm full. When drinking skim milk, it's common for a person to feel hungry right after and end up snacking on bread or cookies, which spikes glucose much faster. Another crucial point for bone health, vitamins A and D, which are fortified in American milk, need fat to be absorbed by your intestine. If the milk is pure water, your body throws a good part of those vitamins away. For the majority of my older patients, unless there is a very specific restriction, whole milk or 2% is more nutritious and helps keep hunger under control, avoiding insulin spikes. Don't be afraid of the food's natural fat. Be honest with me. Does your palate prefer the taste of whole milk, or have you already gotten used to skim milk? Many patients arrive scared by sensationalist news saying that cheese is addictive like drugs. Let's keep our feet on the ground. Our body reacts to milk and cheese in a pleasurable way, yes. During digestion, we release substances called casomorphins, which give a sense of well-being. Biologically, this exists to calm the baby and create a bond with the mother. But comparing this to an addiction to narcotics is a massive exaggeration that only generates food anxiety. No one goes to rehab because they ate too much cheese. What happens is that cheese is rich in fat and salt, a combination our palate loves. The danger isn't a chemical addiction, but rather the excess calories and sodium for those with high blood pressure. You can keep eating your cheese in moderation. It is a concentrated source of calcium and proteins essential for maintaining your muscle mass. Eating with pleasure is part of a healthy life. We don't need to turn food into a monster. Since we're talking about this, what is that one type of cheese that absolutely cannot be missing from your fridge? Are you one of those people who drinks milk and half an hour later feels a bloated belly, gas, or discomfort, even without being diagnosed as lactose intolerant? This is a very frequent clinical complaint. Often, the villain isn't the milk's sugar, but a specific protein that causes inflammation in the intestines of more sensitive people. Regular cow's milk here in the U.S. has a protein called A1, which can be irritating to the digestive tract. The news that has helped many patients is A2 milk. This milk comes from cows that produce a friendlier protein, which is easier to digest, similar to breast milk. If you feel that milk sits heavy or causes indigestion, before cutting this rich food out of your diet, it's worth testing A2 milk, brands like A2 milk. Often, the inflammation and discomfort disappear, and you can get back to having the benefits of calcium and protein without gastric suffering. It's a smart switch for those looking to care for their gut. Do you feel this discomfort or bloating when you drink regular milk, or is your digestion smooth? Finally, a very serious public health warning. I have seen a dangerous trend of people seeking raw milk straight from the farm without pasteurization, believing it cures diseases or improves immunity. For our audience, especially those over 60 or with more delicate immunity, raw milk is a risk that is not worth taking. Without the heating process, pasteurization, this milk can contain very serious bacteria like Salmonella, E. coli, and Listeria. An infection from these can lead to serious hospitalization. Although there are legal loopholes that allow buying this milk through farm herd shares, my medical advice is do not risk it. Pasteurization was one of the greatest achievements for global food safety. There are much safer ways to get probiotics and nutrients than drinking a product with a high risk of bacterial contamination. Put your safety first. In your childhood, did you ever drink milk straight from the cow, or did your parents already buy it pasteurized? To summarize our conversation today, the pasteurized milk we find in the American market is safe and nutritious. You don't need to be afraid of diseases or hidden poisons. The stress of eating with fear often does more harm to your health than the food itself. The important thing is to observe how your body reacts. If digestion is difficult, try A2. If you need satiety, whole milk is your friend. Now I want to hear from you. Comment down below which milk you usually buy these days. And if you like this sincere and direct medical guidance, please click the subscribe button and leave a thumbs up. This helps our channel a lot in continuing to bring health to everyone. A big hug, and see you next time.